Welcome to Zorgani Academy, Learning Management System. Lesson 5, How to Use Builder, by Daryl Wilson.
Great. All right, so before I go ahead and talk about the plugin, let me give you guys a quick 10-minute overview about how to make pages and how to use this page builder. For those of you who already know, you guys can go ahead and skip to the next section, but for my new viewers, let's go ahead and run this through really quick. Right now, whenever you guys want to make changes to your website, right here, you'll click on Edit with Elementor. Elementor is the plugin that we use to build out our website, right? So this is where you can make changes like fonts and colors and all that stuff. But when you first try to use Elementor, it's going to ask you to create a kit. So right here, go ahead and click on Recreate Kit. This is standard for all of the new sites with this theme. But right here, you'll click on Recreate Kit and then click on Save Changes. All right. Now, one more time, let's go back to Visit Site here and let's click on Edit with Elementor. All right, so this is how the page builder works, right? On the left side, we have a bunch of different elements and you can drag and drop these elements onto the actual page, right? So I'll go ahead and scroll up right here. And let's say, for example, you want to drag in an image, right? So I'll just go ahead and drag and drop an image right here. And then I will choose the image. Now you guys can actually upload your own images right here onto your WordPress websites, but the demo content does give us a media library and they do give us some sample images that we can use to, just mess around with and stuff like that. So I'll go ahead and just put in this picture right here and insert media. And there is the actual, there's the image. Now to get the elements back, we'll click on these little square icons and we can keep dragging and dropping elements, right? So maybe you want a button right here. You see where that little blue line is? We'll just drop it right there. Now the content tab for every element controls the actual content within the element. So this is the text, right? So by this, we can put the link, right? We can change the alignments of the button. We can change the actual size and also add an icon to that button if we choose to do that, right? So I can put a little bell and now there's this little bell right there, right? Now the style tab, this controls the actual typography, the text shadow, and the color of the button. So for example, if I want to change this to something like, pink or something or whatever, I can do that there. Also, I can change the typography. Maybe you are using one typography. I like to use Poppins. That's my go-to font. There we go, Poppins. And I do like Poppins Bold. I think Poppins Bold looks really friendly, right? And you guys can also adjust other options right there and stuff like that. Now, the Advanced tab essentially controls the space of the actual button. You guys can also use motion effects, which gives it a little bit more animations. So we can do like fade in, right? Or we can do slide in down. I like slide in down. I'm actually a big fan of that one. Or rotate in. Ugh, that is really ugly. Just don't go too crazy with this, guys. All right, don't get too crazy. Your website can look really terrible, really fast. So just calm down. Calm down. Just don't get crazy with all those animations because it'll make you sick if you keep adding those in everywhere, right? But let's say, for example, you want to add in a new section right here. I'll go ahead and click on this plus and click on this little plus icon. Here we can select specific columns, right? So I'll select 3 columns, right? And I'll click back on these little square icons and I'll drag in elements. So we have a text editor, right? And then here, obviously, you can add more text. And for the style tab, you guys can adjust the color, the typography, and the alignment as well. So maybe you want this like darker, right? Now let's go ahead and add in some more icons. So here I'll drag in this button and then maybe I will also drag in this image, right? And then we'll put an image of, I don't know, someone happy here. These guys don't look too happy. Well, she looks a little happy. It's like she almost made it, but we'll just add her. There we go. So we added in this woman, right? Now we can also just duplicate this, right? So if you don't want to do all this all over again on the right click option, right click, you do have some more options, right? We can duplicate this, we can copy this, but I'll just go ahead and duplicate this section, right? And we can duplicate that again, right? And I don't want these right now, so I'll go ahead and right click and delete these columns over here. Right click and delete these. Now let me go ahead and talk to you guys about the advanced options really quick. So I'm gonna click on these little 6 dots right here. And here we can adjust the actual section, right? So we can give it more space, right? We can make it full width, right? Or we can adjust the width, right? So we can make this however big we want it to B, right? Or we can just stretch the section all the way across the screen, right? We can just like make it like, you know, all the way to the tips, right? But I'm just going to go ahead and leave it like that, right? Now, let's say, for example, I want to add space, you know, because see how this lady is just too close to this top image right here? Maybe I want to add just a little space. So under the advanced tab, I'm going to add padding. So uncheck this little link right here, and I'm going to add some padding to the top. See how we're creating space right there, right? Got it? And I'll put it at 80. And then also, maybe you want to add padding to the bottom right there, right? Or actually, that's kind of fine, but you can see we can add padding to the bottom right there, right? And that looks good. And once you guys make changes that you guys like, on the bottom right here, you'll click on Update. All right, so now let's talk about how to make pages, and then we'll talk about how to assign those to our menu. So you see how you have pages up here? This was all created with the demo content. However, you guys might want to make pages by yourself, right? So let's do that. Up here under Plus New, I'll click on Page. And this can be something like your, I don't know, your My Instructors page, right? My Instructors page. And then I'll click on Publish and Publish. Next, I'll click on Edit with Elementor. And this will essentially let me build the page with the actual page builder. I think I spelled instructors wrong. Whatever, it's all good. And here you guys can just go ahead and build your page just the way you did normally, like on the home page, right? I'll just go ahead and do this really quick with the power of video editing. All right, how about that? Okay, so I just kind of made this really quick from scratch. I'll just go ahead and update this, right? So I just made a quick little preview of our instructors, something very basic. You know, these buttons are pretty ugly, but you guys get the point, right? So I have created a new page called our instructors. Now let's go ahead and assign this to our menu. Let's go ahead and go back to Exit to Dashboard. And here I'll click on this little, it's supposed to be a WordPress icon, but looks like it's kind of glitched or bugged out or something like that. I have no idea what happened there. Over here under Appearance, we'll click on Menus. Now, the Tutor LMS plugin, it does actually create a footer for us and also a primary menu for us as well. So right here, I'll click on Primary and click on Select. So the View All section will display all the pages that are created for your specific website. But right here, I'll click on Most Recent, and this was the actual page that I created. So I'll just click on Add New, right? And there is my instructors page. So once that's done, I'll go ahead and click on Save Menu. All right, now let's click on Visit Sites. I'll refresh this page. And there you go. We have my instructors page. You guys can see it's been added to the menu. So let's click on my instructors page. And then it brings us to the page that we created with all of our instructors, right? Pretty cool. Now, one more thing. We might want to assign a specific page to be our home page, right? So let's do that. Now, also, I want to add the home page to this specific menu, right? You always want to add a home page, right? So right here, I'll click on View All. And University is what they named the home page for the demo content. So I'm going to click on University and add this to the menu. But I don't want this to be called University, right? So let's change the name of this page. Right here, I'll click on this little drop-down menu, and I'll just call this Home, right? I just want this to be the home page. We don't need a, we don't need to be University, right? So I'll click on Save Menu, and now let's go ahead and visit the sites. All right, cool. So we have the home page has been added to the menu, and also the My Instructors page has also been added to the menu. So that's pretty easy, right? Now let's say, for example, you created a new home page and you want to assign that home page to be the home page. Maybe you want the instructor page to be the home page, right? So how do you assign the page to go to the first page that visitors are brought to? Let me go ahead and show you guys. Up here, we'll click on Theme Customizer. Now the Theme Customizer essentially controls a lot of the header and the footer of your website. So just a quick little example, the starter options panel for like the colors. This is where you guys can adjust like the colors of the stuff on your menu. You guys can also change like the layouts if you want it like a box or full width. You guys can also adjust the header here. They do have various header styles to pick from. You guys can just click on this and then your header will change accordingly, right? But I'll just go ahead and leave this as the default. I don't want to get too, I don't want to dive too much into the theme customizer just yet. But here you can also put your logo, right? So you can change the logo. So if you guys have a logo for your websites, you guys can add the logo there. And there's just a lot of other various styling options you guys can go through, like for example, the cart color or the background color, or you guys can even take out that button right there. So if you don't want that to show, you can just disable that as well. But yeah, so this is where you can style the actual menu right here. On your own free time, feel free to go through the colors, the layouts, and also all of this stuff to adjust the websites to your liking. But I first just want to go ahead and assign the homepage as my homepage, right? So for the homepage settings, here I'll go ahead and select the actual page, which was, I think it was my instructors page, right? So let's say, for example, this is what you want to be your home page. You would just select whatever page you want there, right? But I want to go ahead and select the actual university, which I did rename homepage, to be our homepage, right? So this is the homepage that I want. Once you guys select the homepage, you'll go ahead and click on publish. All right, pretty cool. I just want to make that very clear. All right, let's go ahead and exit out of this theme customizer now. So now really quickly, I want to go ahead and change this homepage to the current homepage that I showed you guys in the beginning of this video. It's really simple. I'll walk you guys through it. And by the end of this, you guys will be a little bit more professional with Elementor. So right here, let's click on Edit with Elementor. And this is going to take about like a few seconds. We're going to go ahead and delete this box right here. Delete that. And now I want to center align this, right? So I'm going to click on this, and under the alignments, I'm going to center this. For this text here, I'm also going to center align this. And for this button here, I am also going to center align this. Now you guys might also notice here that when I hover over this, this turns blue. I want to go ahead and change it so it's always blue. So over here under the style, we'll go ahead and under normal, the text color, I want that to be white. So now you see the text color is white. But now I want to change the background color to something like blue, right? So now it's this blue color where it looks just like the actual color when we hover over it, right? So that makes a lot of sense. Now also right here, I want to add in this little divider module right here. So let's go back to elements, and I'm going to take this divider module and I'm going to drag it right there and drop it. I'm now going to reduce the width of this, but we really can't see it that much. You see how it's black? So let's change this color to white. So under the style, I'm going to change this color to white, right? And I also want to make it just a little bit bigger. So let's just make this like, I don't know, 2.0 or something. What do you guys think? 2.0? And for the contents, I want to make sure this is centered, and I want to reduce this just a little bit more. So that looks a little bit better. Now, one thing, I do want to actually reduce the space, right? So to do that, it's really simple. Just go ahead and click on the little divider under the style. We're now going to reduce the gap. You see how it's now reducing the gap? And there you go. Now, the last thing that I want to do is I want to make this full width, right? So you notice here how this is not full width. However, this one here is full width. To do that, let's just go ahead and open this up. And I want to right click on this little background and click on edit section, right? So I'm essentially clicking on those little dots up there, but when you hover over it, it disappears because that's part of the menu. And I just want to make sure that the height is fit to screen. Just like that. Now all I need to do is change the background image. So I'm going to go ahead and edit this section. Under the style, here is the image, right? So you can add an image of anything, right? You can add an image of yourself, of your school, but I'm going to go ahead and upload that image that I use for the other website. All right, so I went ahead and I uploaded it. I will also leave this image for you guys in the description of this video, and I'll just click on insert media, and we're done. So that was pretty fast, pretty simple, and we made a really nice looking homepage in about a few seconds. So that's how I recreated that homepage from the actual demo. So now that I showed you guys how to use the actual builder, how to make pages in a menu, now let's go ahead and talk about the actual Tutor LMS plugin and how to use it.